He actually made the pylon blocking.
The Nexus?
Yeah, that blocks the Nexus. Upper left corner there.
That's the most embarrassing thing that can happen.
Well, it seems like Hero is just not. He's not in shape right now.
If I was this far behind, I think I would just leave that pylon there and go re-expand up top.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
I'd be like, you know what? Screw this. This is too embarrassing. This is a scouting pylon. It's hard for the commentators to even see this blocks the Nexus immediately.
Well, I think Pet just does a timing attack. He's going to make the Ravagers, and I mean, this is, again, he doesn't have to have any kind of tactical brilliance to come in here and do this. He already had his tactical moments early on. Now he just gets a big enough army. I think he comes down here and crushes the third base. We got a shot of right here. He just comes in there and smashes that.
Yeah, and then he smashes whatever else is left, too.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Kind of a wonky series we've had so far here, Artosis.
One thing I do want to say, though, it sucks because he lost all the sentries. He really needed those sentries for the upcoming attack.
Yeah.
He has a decent amount of them. He has Blink Stalkers, he has Glaives, and he's about to have +2 attack. So there are some good things going on. Like, Hero has like a pretty good army, but this is too much.
I think it's a supply amount. It's 150 to 95. So I believe if he gets the rest of this over here. Now, his Queens haven't caught up just yet. So we'll have to see, how he actually connects his army. But I think, it's just going to be too much. This just kind of steamrolls the base.
Well, he's trying to hold his best here. His Stalkers are doing some good work, and the double Photon Overcharge is actually doing fantastic, but the Queens are here for those transfusions.
Yeah, and this is where you really see that nothing is going to die here from Zerg that easily. And, of course, the Queen's transfusing and dealing damage, and he's only making Lings and Roaches behind this to reinforce this easily. So that should be GG here. Yeah. I think we're going to go now into game number 4, and what I think might be our quickest series, if it keeps up like this, our quickest series of Code A.
Yeah, we've had 3-0s too, but this is like, I think this
way
might
faster.
be quicker.
Yeah.
All right, well, Pet just bashing those force fields, pushing up. There's really not a whole lot for Hero to do here.
Yeah, Hero's warping in. Now, granted, these Queens are going to run out of energy if they haven't already with Transfuse, but I think it's just the sheer amount of damage that's coming up. There it is. GG. Pet wins. That was game 3, right?
That was game 3.
This is going so fast. Yeah. Okay, so that's game 3. So Pet is up 2-1.
Yeah.
He's 1 game away from winning. Hero, unfortunately, does not look solid at all unless he's doing like an all-in where he just has to micro. And a lot of using your micro, that's just instinct.
That almost never goes away.
Yeah, you pretty much, you can take a year or 2 off of StarCraft and come back microing, and you can kind of just do it.
Yeah. Maybe not as sharply or anything. The thing is, we know Hero plays, obviously. He's here in Code A, so he's quite a nice level. But, I mean, compared to the top of Code A, in fact, Pet is like middle of Code A, and he just seems like a much stronger player.
Yeah, well, Pet is playing much more proper StarCraft. And
he's got his pinky up as he runs those Zerglings up the ramp and attacks through a wall.
With the pinky out. I think Pet should take this as long as he just plays standard and keeps watching. Anyways, this is game number 4. Hero against Pet. 1 will move on. Can Liquid Hero, the Hero formerly known as Liquid, come back? Or is Pet going to close this out? Let's go. In the upper left, in the blue, he is
Hero.
Poor guy. Well, I mean, he can still come back. He just has to he's been making some blunders here and there. In the bottom right.
MVP 치킨 마루 Pet.
So we're seeing in this series so far a few odd decisions from Hero. Like we were saying earlier, initially players would ghost out the Adepts with that shade ability and use that to move across the map fast. But of course, you really got to be careful. Once Lings are out in large numbers, you want to use that to try to escape. You want to hug more corners and try to really stay as safe as possible. And instead, Hero was just kind of like not even watching the screen, just ghosting him over there as if the Zerg wasn't going to be ready. And then the Zerg just ate up all those Adepts.
Yeah.
And these are things usually that come with if you're playing a lot. When you make a few little mistakes in a StarCraft game, you go, okay, I should have had this unit out here on the map. Or, you know what? maybe I should put this building a little bit further back so he can't spot it. And that's how you slowly refine yourself as a good StarCraft player. You go, you know what, I didn't really expand here. I actually had the money, but I didn't do that. And it seems like some of the decisions just on the map, the way he's moving around, he's getting caught off guard by. Now, that may be nerves, that may be lack of practice. I don't know.
Well, he's definitely a player that's been known to have nerves in the past. But truth be told, he doesn't really have anything to prove, I don't think, at this point. Like, he's had a very storied career. He's won tournaments. He's placed very well. He's been beloved by, many, many fans. He's definitely one of the more popular players.
He's certainly been a fan favorite.
So, at this point, if he still has those nerves, it's just kind of sad and,
Well,
like, I just don't feel like he needs to, like, this should be, I mean, the thing is, he might have pressure on himself. I think I recall reading a little interview where he's like, I'm not quitting StarCraft, I still want to play and all that. So he might actually view this as extremely important to the next phase of his career where he's not on Liquid as well.
That's very true, too. Cool, we have an adapted Stalker coming out of the gates. That's not something you see all the time.
Yeah, this is like a defensive 2-gate opening here, maybe because he's already gotten some scouts on, knows that Pet probably not going to lose very much to a couple of Depths. And probably wants to push the Overlord out as well. Keep those guys out of there. But Stargate coming. Looks like Pat will get a scout off on it.
Yep. And he's coming in now. There he goes. He sees it. This is going to be interesting. I believe that Hero wants to set up for a more normal game, a more proper game. It looks like he was trying to do that and do a little bit of Adept Harass. By the way, have you noticed that Adept Harass has gone down effectiveness a lot?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is what happens. I'm
wondering if this is going to eventually get phased out of the meta.
Yeah. Well, I think it's still, like, reasonable. You can definitely poke, and when you watch the very best players in the world do it, they still magically get a whole lot of damage done, or at least a lot of scouting done. But, that's just, like, the nature of things. Like, everyone thought this was so imbalanced. Like, well, I keep losing to it. It must be imbalanced. And it's like, no, you just need time. It's easier to figure out what to do as the attacker, as the aggressor, because you get way more practice doing exactly what you're doing.
Well, you know what you're doing before you do it, whereas they're having to kind of deal with it. But as the game goes on and people learn about it, a lot of times it's the person that learned how to defend everything that ends up winning more tournaments. Which is kind of funny to say, but it's true.
Over the course, like eventually the more macro player, the more reactive players, in general, going to win more. That's kind of why we call that the standard, right? So. But anyways, it's definitely true that the efficacy of some of these early attacks goes down over time. Like even, right, remember Parting's Immortal All-In? Hell, that felt imbalanced even as a Protoss, but I'm like, wow, I'm beating players way better than myself. But then eventually Zerg's figured it out, and now, eventually we didn't really see it anymore. It was a very pocketed strategy that you only pull out
interesting.
Sometimes.
Well, this is why you want to be really careful about patching stuff always in games, is because the knee-jerk reaction by most people, unfortunately, is to immediately claim that it's a bug and not a feature of the game, and that it needs to be fixed. Whereas, or you can even look at a game like Brood War, where that game has been patched forever, and people have pretty much figured out how to fight anything all the time. There's pretty much a rule book that you can follow, and they're still figuring stuff out with it. But
the only bugs in this game are Zerg. Well, and that one that makes you leave the ladder game. I mean, the game, like, people really should just let it be and learn over time. And we've definitely seen that. But look at this. We have quite a few Lings attacking here. Once again, they do have that +1 melee.
You beat me to it. I was going to say, this is another +1 melee attack here. And if you notice, there's actually not a ton to deal with Lings. I mean, an Oracle can kill Lings, but not that fast. Not as fast as Lings can kill a Nexus.
Yeah.
And losing this Nexus here is huge. Oh, my God. Wait, is he going to... Yeah! What?
Literally one Zergling attack.
Oh my God.
This is where you make a complete wall-in around your Nexus. Complete. 100% Hero. Keep making buildings. He has Lings on the way. Well,
you actually saw a Pet.
You know how many Lings he gave for that? Yeah, he was actually laughing, guys. We can see them.
Yeah, in the studio we actually got camera shots of both players' faces, and I mean, that was unreal. It's kind of funny when it's getting down to it, because you see this, like, this decline. I don't know what the term would be, like, for how it's exceeding in a downward motion. Like if you could graph the damage as you're killing you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think, is that like logarithmic, like decline or something like that? I'm not sure what the term is.
I'm not sure.
Maybe exponential decline of damage output.
Not 100% sure on that. I know what you mean, though. I don't think it's
Somebody's-
actually exponential, but it's definitely like
Reverse
sharp
of whatever, yeah,
decline.
whatever that is, but like it's hard to like kind of map out as you're watching it. But that was a nail biter. I mean, that was literally there was one more hit there on that. Pet is going. It looks like he's going to try to do this now. I think this is ill-advised because the shields have already come back.
There's actually
on
a
this.
stasis where there's a.
Now hold up. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, okay.
Okay. By the way, there's air toss going on here, which is kind of neat. He's going 3 Stargate Void Rays right now. Blast from the past going on from Hero. Look at this. He's trying to pick off these queens so he can actually get a free kill on this hatch as well. The Oracle out of energy. I don't think he. Yeah, he's going to run for now. But with these additional Void Rays coming out, well,
Yeah,
no,
3
12
more.
Hydras, man.
3 more coming out. I don't know if air toss is advisable on this though.
Well,
Can't
Void
you-
Ray-based air toss is such an old strategy, like really, really
Yeah.
unbelievably old, that obviously Hero was extremely good at it because he was very good at it back in the day, and Pet may have literally never played against it.
That is true. Sometimes,
like from
sometimes
the
you can
era
take
of-
somebody who's like really good, especially when you get these players that are like these really good players for like 12 or 13, and you just do a build that's like 5 years old,
Yeah.
and they like are like what, and you just completely
Totally,
take them
and
out.
it's out of the meta, and it shouldn't work because people really figured out how to play against it. But
Yeah.
here, like this could do something, especially if he has sentries. He has a little bit of a ground army with him. He's actually teching up into a fleet beacon now. Huh. And Pet just doesn't know.
Well, problem. Also going air toss, sky toss is more commonly referred to as
Well,
that.
air toss because of Artosis. It's Sky
Oh,
Terran, though. It's Sky Terran for sure.
Problem is if you lose these air units, you've invested so much. It's very different from losing even Hydras or Roaches, or even Ravagers. Ravagers is probably a closer example of that. But I mean, you got to be careful. And so a good poke in here, and this is a nearly maxed out Zerg, by the way.
Yeah, this is a really scary army when you're trying to play with something like this. Like, if he gets hit by Corrosive Biles, he's in trouble. The Hydras can wreck him as well, but with good force fields, he can hold this. Like, Void Rays and force fields
the
are a
thing
match
is,
made in heaven.
He actually can use the Ravagers to break the force fields, I
Yeah.
think, but he's not doing that.
It's just
He's
the amount of time that takes is a little bit, so it gives Hero some time with the units that he's sectioned off. Now look at this. These force fields are fantastic out of Hero. He's actually doing a great job. His Void Rays are just not falling.
Still trying to push in here.
Wow, what a hold there.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
That was really well microed from
Zerg was
Hero.
at like 189 supply before that attack. This is going to allow him to build up the Void Ray bank a little bit more. However, Zerg can really easily keep making more. I mean, these sentries are low on energy. He might have enough for another force field wall or two.
Yeah, he might
And he's
need to
getting
warp in
Vipers
some
now,
more.
too.
Oh, the Vipers, that's where it's a real heartbreaker because he doesn't actually have any Tempest, or not
Templars?
Tempest, but Templars,
Yeah.
to counteract this.
Now,
So,
this, I think, is perhaps a mistake. I think moving out with this air army,
I think, yeah.
this is a problem with Void Rays like this, is that you want to push out and claim
Mm-hmm.
turf, but Void Rays don't actually push that well. If you get them in a good position, they do a lot of damage,
Yeah,
but like they don't.
Very true.
You don't like pummel through.
They're better
the middle
at
of the map.
defending than attacking. They're actually very slow.
Yeah.
They slide a little bit during the attack, but not too bad. But like you want to do a defense where you can utilize force fields against someone coming
Right.
in against you. Now, with these Vipers though, like he could use either Parasitic Bomb or Abduct. Abduct going to guarantee a kill each time. Parasitic Bomb just going to bruise everything. This is going to be very tough without High Templars.
Yeah. Did Hero invest too much in this? Let's see.
All right, here he comes
it's time.
right
Here
now.
come the 3 Vipers.
All right, he does start on Parasitic Bomb, so this is actually something Hero could split off. All right, not
Well,
doing the best
no more
splitting, to be
shields.
honest. One of them gets split out. The other one, well, I guess it just does its duration. But look, with the force fields, he can still hold on.
Yeah, he's going to try to knock down these force fields. He just needs these Hydras to not get up and bunch up underneath this army.
You know, like, Hero's micro here is very strong. Maybe the Parasitic Bombs didn't go quick enough, but, like, these force fields are great. He's pulling his Void Rays back in time. The one thing I have to say about Pet, that was, like, greedy. He was trying to kill him. I feel like if he just farms Void Rays off of Abduct, he just wins the game.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is just use Abduct and keep harpooning them back out. But now there's Tempest in the mix, so I don't know if Zerg can actually reclaim this high ground at all.
Yeah.
And that is going to be another base going to Hero. And when you play like this, going for this technical air army, the more bases you can acquire and be safe, the better.
Now look at this now. The Void Ray's really becoming a force. He's poking with the Tempest as well. It looks like he does want to go ahead and do a flank here, but throws Parasitic Bomb onto the Mothership core. In fact, a couple of them. That is just not really that useful. Look, he just moves to the side. Yeah. This unit has a ton of health. He doesn't care about this. Like, again, abduct that into Hydras. Is it going to live? No, it's not going to live. Abduct is cheaper, too. Like, come on, there's like a lot of reasons.
You're basically right, though, Artos. It's like Abduct might have been a good idea the first time he tried it, but I mean, you have a way to actually get more value out of his units and make him lose these units that cost a lot of gas, you know? Yeah. If they lose units that cost a ton of gas and the game goes on for longer and longer and longer, and all you're doing is using spell magic, mana or energy, whatever you want to refer to it as. Spell magic. Purple bars. Then you're going to end up in a better spot in the long run.
Wet water. I want some wet water to drink. Spell magic. I love it.
Spell magic.
Oh, man. Well, he's getting some more spell magic users, but these are ground type states. This is called the Infestor.
Check this out. We got the Void Ray sitting in his base. He was actually taking hits from on that hatch with the...
So Abduct cancels in the middle of... Because he shot that out right before the recall, and then it didn't work. Like, he shot that out. I'm pretty sure he was abducting the mothership. I'm
not sure.
Someone let me know. I've actually just never seen someone launch an abduct right as a recall is going down and then have it cancel.
That was weird.
Yeah, no.
That was really weird.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
This is one of those moments of, like, StarCraft trivia.
Yeah.
Like, where you get all these weird things. Like, what happens with this spell's going off, and then they do this, or this cooldown's happening. Does that reset here? You know, kind of weird.
Yeah. Look at this setup, though, for Hero. That's, like, really hard to break. He's got the High Templars out. He's got a lot of Photon Cannons. I mean, the Pet right now, I don't mind the army he's making. It's pretty good, but he needs to start getting some big moves off, whether that be Abducts or whatever he wants to try at this point.
Whoa, nice. There we go. That was the Abduct we were looking for. Now he can actually go back. And a lot of times when the Zerg plays a game like this, what they do is continue to do that. They just harpoon out units and then eat them up and then just go back.
Exactly.
And if you look at the map, and you can basically conclude that this map is going to get cut in half in a little bit of a diagonal. Protoss is mining all these minerals and gas and then losing units. So what happens is, as the game gets further and further along, they've spent all this money on stuff that didn't really do anything, and Zerg ends up with a lead that way and can eventually start coming in there and trying to crack the defenses. By the way, really good to see these guys are in an actual long game.
Yeah, no, this game is pretty nice, too. There's been some really fantastic micro going out of Hero during some of these engagements as he falls back on a very old strategy. And Pet, you know, he's kind of trying to brute force his way through. I definitely am skeptical about Parasitic Bomb being used over Abduct earlier on, but let's see what he can get done. He has Infestors in here. You could use some spell magic on these units.
Yeah, using some of that spell magic.
And we do have another mothership being made, so of course that's something you really want to have.
You harpoon that again. Yeah. There. That's the counter to that, though. Yep. You feed back the Vipers, and there's not much they can do.
Very good moves there with those feedbacks, and this army is getting unbelievably scary, especially if he has a couple Psy Storms. I don't know if he has energy right now, but that'll just demolish everything over here on Pet's side.
Starting to come up here now, doing a lot of damage. You know what? I think it's possible that Hero finally got that critical mass.
Yeah.
And Pet kind of fed into his opponent there and might be able to take out this base. And you take out this base here, Zerg loses a lot of stability and movement on the map.
Yeah, he does.
Even though this base is important because of the minerals that are here, it's also very important because it's kind of a foothold that allows Zerg to circulate freely throughout the lower half of the map. So taking that out, that's a big win there for Hero. I'm starting to think that Hero is going to take this one. Zerg may actually have to rely on counterattacks primarily for the time being.
And you know what? I think that Pet just lost this. He queued up 14 Corruptors against how many Void Rays? Like, let's not forget what happens with Void Ray versus Corruptor. Yeah. Maybe if he Parasitic Bombs every single one of them while abducting them into one square.
Into nukes.
Into fungal nukes.
Yes.
Like, I mean, these Corruptors are just going to evaporate.
Yeah.
There's going to be very angry Zerg players watching, too.
Yeah. Even though that would not, it was just the wrong thing to actually go for.
It's like, well, I
entirely.
mean, you're building Corruptors into Void Rays. It's like building Roaches into Immortals. It's like, oh, he has 12 Immortals. I think I'll make a bunch of Roaches now. It's like, okay, here's 28 Roaches. It's like, ooh, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is an
Pretty
odd,
sure he won't lose an Immortal kill in that.
This is an odd investment for sure.
Well, with the Abducts, like, it gives him a mobile Abduct army. He just can never fight heads up with this.
Yeah.
So,
well, the problem is that Protoss is going to fight heads up. Protoss is now going to be in the whole habit of just going out and erasing these bases that are here, there, and everywhere on the map, just trying to take them out. You can see where Tip is firing from like a screenshot down there.
a lot of damage being dealt there.
Wow.
Does back out. Lost quite a few Corruptors, but at least he got the Mothership, I guess. Has to continue moves like that, but he has to do them a little bit more efficiently.
Well, you know, the problem is it's kind of like he's taking out the most interesting unit in the army, but frankly, if I'm Hero, I'll just lose Motherships all day and remake them while I go around here actually smashing expansions and things that have much more impact.
Yeah. Most interesting.
That's it,
GG.
GG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pet kind of lost there at the very end, just taps out and says, all right, let's bring it down to this final game. So it's tied up 2-2, guys. We're going to go to our last match between these two and see who survives this Code A match.
Yeah. All right, so a solid victory here from Hero. So glad to be going into Game 5. It looked like this series was going to be really fast, but Hero kind of bringing it back a bit. Definitely liked the micro. And our final map going to be Laralac Crest.
Laralac Crest. What is going to happen on this map? We've had a lot of very short, crazy games.
Yeah.
We had one long one that was a little bit wonky at points in time, but nonetheless interesting.
Well, this is a 4-player map coming up.
This also means that cheesing is going to be a little bit more difficult to pull off. We know both these guys are willing to do stuff like that. On this map now, how exactly are they going to play?
It's hard to say with it being 4-player. Like, I don't think it can be quite as cheeky as they were at times. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of expect a more straight-up game out of Pet. Maybe some drops being put in. He hasn't gotten Overlord speed once in the series, which is kind of weird for a Zerg nowadays. That's such a popular upgrade, kind of in all the matchups. Hero, on the other hand, he's Hero, so, I mean, we could have just about anything coming out. Wouldn't be surprised if he does something crazy like a 2-base all-in.
Wouldn't hurt, man. You got to do whatever it takes to win.
He's got to get in Code S, really. If he wants to get a new team, if he falls out, he's not in Pro League.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't think if he's made it into the SSL group stage. I don't know, but
Well, I think,
definitely here.
What's important is that this is kind of the pinnacle of Korean StarCraft 2 out here. It's GSL. Even to just say I'm a Code S player is huge. And, you know, this is the last season this year. So
Code S player, that's like basically you're one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Regardless.
That's an honor in of itself. So much here. It's going to come down to one game. They both know they can lose to each other. They can beat each other. It's just going to be about execution, and we've had some odd execution from these two as well. Hero with some odd choices in his early game. Pet with odd choices in the late game. Cheese's macro games. Everything we could really ask for in a best of 5 has happened so far. Now it's going to come down to this one final match.
Alrighty, I'm ready for it. Do you have a prediction here?
I do not. I don't know who's going to take this, man. This is a tough one to call. I think if we look at the builds and the openings, we could probably make a better guess. What about you? You got any predictions?
I would say Pet if it goes long, Hero if it goes short.
Okay. I can stand by that. This is game number 5, Hero versus Pet. In the upper left, in the blue, our Protoss player with a quick scout, by the way, with the probe.
Hero.
That is very quick.
Possibility, maybe a cannon rush.
Oh, I would be really stoked if he did that.
It's Liquid Hero. I don't think that's out of the question.
Yeah.
And in the bottom right, in the red, he is.
MVP 치킨 마루 펫.
And I know that cannon rushes are not that popular, but Hero sort of plays outside of the realm of time.
Yeah,
You know?
very, very true about that. We saw that last game, right?
Yeah. Okay, he's getting gate gas. Thank you for coming down, man. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Oh, he is.
He is.
He's loving it.
He's loving it. So let's see. He did do that quick scout.
Yeah.
He's going to get in here and take a look. Look, see, he's going to see it was hatched before pool.
Well, and just pretty normal here from Pet.
Yeah.
So before the game really picks up Tasteless, I got to ask you, excluding cats and dogs, what's the best pet?
Guinea pigs?
You're right.
Was that correct?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
In
guinea
fact,
pigs are
guinea
pretty
pigs
good.
are better than cats, but
No.
not by like a whole lot. Cats are pretty
No,
great.
cats are better than guinea pigs.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You just
A
are.
guinea pig won't eat you if you die in your house
You
alone.
truly are a bias caster, taking guinea pigs over cats.
I mean, I can tell you've never had a guinea pig.
No, man.
Well, you should try
I had a
guinea
normal
pig.
childhood. Actually, I did not have a normal childhood because I had a pet parakeet when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
How was that pet?
And before that, that was actually not bad.
Yeah?
Not bad having a pet bird.
Huh.
You just got to give them a lot of attention.
Do you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah?
Actually,
Oh, that's interesting. I just don't know. I've never had a bird.
You
so.
got to talk to them a lot, and
Oh.
let them sit on your head. They like that on
I
your
like
shoulder.
that. That's kind of cool.
Occasionally they crap in
Oh.
your hair and you don't know, and you're like out in school and people are like, "What's that in your hair?" And you're like, "Oh no, it's bird shit." And I'm in middle school and I have bird shit in my hair, and this is just horrible. And now
Oh
that
my
girl
God.
who pointed it out to me will never marry me because I'm in 7th grade and everything seems so important to me right
Yeah.
now.
Oh my God. It's like those high
7th
school
grade is the
dramas.
most important period of my life.
Oh man. Those high school dramas that you see on TV sometimes, like I think it was Family Guy did this parody,
Yeah.
like high school, because our problems
Oh,
matter. It was like so
High school.
funny.
This is high school. All of our problems matter.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was quite funny. But no, yeah, they do poop in your hair sometimes.
Yeah.
Little bird poops.
So it's not like the pigeon poop that you find all over your car or something.
It's like a very tiny version of that you wouldn't even know that they did it.
It's not as bad when they. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
That
it's like
makes
a
sense.
parakeet, man. It's like
Yeah, those are pretty small.
it's
right?
like it's the size of like 2 chicken McNuggets or
I
something.
had
like
a
it's,
friend with a parakeet in high school.
Yeah,
that's
go
the
on.
end of my story.
That was a sick story.
So I
Tosis.
met a parakeet before, for sure. Yeah. In fact, he had 2, so I met 2 parakeets.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And at pet stores, I've seen parakeets for sure. Yeah.
well, a lot of those ones are really sad. Their wings are clipped, and they're like, "Rah!" They're like in some kind of
So your parakeet could just fly?
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you let him free, Taste?
Well, she tried to go free a couple times by flying into windows. That was kind of sad, but eventually she learned that what glass was. But anyways, into this game, we have the 2 adepts shading in, and good job there, setting up the spore. So we don't have any drone kills just yet, and I'm not sure if he's clear on where he wants to go. Looks like he's going to try to. Okay, he should definitely shade over there then.
Yeah.
Now,
Does,
you're a little bit clunky here. Finally gets 2 drones.
Yeah, this is some pretty decent harassment so far. He's definitely causing a loss of mining time. Ooh, he blocked the extractor.
That was sick.
And
Hero's
he's still
always-
shading around. He's doing a very good job with this. And he's going Phoenixes and plus 2 gates behind it, which is interesting because you can definitely, when you wall in that choke, go and take a 3rd base before those 2 gates. So I just wonder if he's going to try to get a little bit more aggressive as well. In the meantime, by the way, we do have a drop overlord that is up.
Go
there it
on.
is. Well, if the Phoenixes find this pet is going to feel very bad.
This is actually about as risky.
Yeah.
I mean,
If he had Overlord
this
speed,
is
it
like,
would, make it, but
to be totally honest, I really don't like this strategy. This is like, I hope you don't find me.
yeah.
I hope you don't find me.
And Hero with 3 gates will be able to clean it up without too much problems.
He actually got in there with that. I can't believe this.
Okay, well, where are the units for Hero right now? Because he made 3 gates before that Nexus. All right, yeah, there he goes. He actually has them up in this mineral line, and he's not moving them. Come on.
Okay, so the Link's just trying to see what they can do. 5 probe kills is not bad. That's actually
super
already
legit.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Pet has to be pretty happy so far, and he's getting a full scout on of everything.
Well, that was a success.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Kind of funny that Overlord is still there somehow. I don't even know. I swear there were like Phoenixes that went in every possible direction.
Yeah, this Overlord somehow just dodged everything. He's hiding in plain sight, too. That's like a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you think hiding in corners is smart. It's
well,
not.
it starts out where hiding in corners is smart, but then if you kind of put it sort of in the middle, that's actually not where they set the path through there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good, starting out, hiding in corners is good. Which is something I actually tried to teach Tasteless, because when we started playing hide and seek, he just hides the dumbest place, like standing behind a telephone pole. I'm like, Tasteless, I see your shoulders.
I hid in the middle of a baseball field. And
he'll never go here.
It turns out Artosis has vision of like 180 because he's not a StarCraft unit. He just sees across like a normal human does.
I have wall hacks, actually. I can see everything.
You got wall hacks?
Yeah.
Can't wait for Blizzard to ban you with your wall hacks. How is... Oh, hold up. We got Adepts coming here, and Phoenix is doing a lot of damage now. There's 26 Lings just now hatching, and Roach is on the way as well.
Yeah, this isn't really going to end up doing anything here for Hero, I don't think.
Well, he got 9 drone kills.
Yeah,
but,
that is true.
You know, I don't even consider how many Adepts were actually sent out here.
Like, he basically doesn't have many units at home, but he's gone two Robo Immortals. So that's going to give him a really strong army for defensive purposes, I think. And here's the thing, too. It was only a single Hydralisk Den, and he's not getting Lurkers. So this is just going to be, like, layer tech units walking around. I don't really consider Lurker as layer tech. You know, I just, like, Roach Hydra stuff is going to be walking around. And, like, a bunch of Immortals and some Sentries is going to do very well against that.
Well, hopefully Hero can do a good job then with that. We got Lings again coming over here. You know, one thing I want to point out is when we see Adept harass, the Adept is like a unit that's just expensive enough that it kind of matters more than most units when you see it don't do damage and it dies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see like Marine drops, and a lot of times they kill the Marines, and the Marines don't do that much, but it's kind of okay because you can Marines are kind of like Lings, like you can remake them really fast.
Yeah, they're basically free and have a build time of 0.
There's definitely a point in time where it's like, okay, you've actually lost too much. But with the Adept, it's a much bigger deal if you get in there and don't pay for yourself in that attack. Because, you know, the Adept, it is coming out of the gateway. There's a lot of other important units that come out of the gateway that allow you to sustain in mid-game and late game.
Yeah.
So when you see these people just go for Adepts and they send a few in and don't do anything, they do not have a ground army, guys.
It's very true.
And Protoss take the longest to develop the sophisticated ground army. They got the most complicated ground that you can develop, basically, in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, you're pretty much right about that. Like, you kind of have to have the right amounts of units. Of course, we do see games where it's like only Adepts or only Stalkers or something like that.
But well, there's always exceptions to that rule. But if you want to see, like...
In a standard, normal, like, macro game, you definitely got to have, like, the right numbers for what you're facing and, you know, the right upgrades on those. But, well, let's see how it goes.
I don't know. I think Heroes got perhaps stronger late game here than Pet. I'm basing that partially off the one late game we saw there from Pet previously. They are in cross spots, so that makes the push a little bit tougher for Hero.
Whoa.
But
11 spines on the way.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
He is really making a lot of spines.
I don't know. Is he just wants to stop harass then?
Maybe.
Because there's only like 3 there. I'm assuming there's 3 somewhere else and another 3 and so on. You know what I mean? Now, granted, a lot of Protosses do try to win the game by just harassing the Zerg, especially in cross spots, as the game goes on for longer. I don't know if this is a little bit premature to have all the spines set up now.
It's a lot. Like, he might look at that as one of Hero's big ways to be able to win this. And one of the things I like about this many spines, the true way to counter, like, Lurker-type pushes, and he is getting the Lurker Den, is to do drop harassment. Like, to do Warp Prism warp-ins and punish the Zerg and make the Zerg either bring his whole army back or part of his army, in which case you can kill his actual army. So, like, this is kind of neat. Not sure exactly where Pet's going. Well, now I am. He's going Greater Spire.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the Sartosis. I've actually talked about this a lot in CAS. In these spots, I don't...
You don't like the Broods?
No, I don't.
What do you prefer?
Well, I don't know if I have a great solution, but let me just criticize this first, because I mean, I don't want to pretend to be a know-it-all, but I do want to talk about something that I feel like there's some problems with this. Is that Broodlords, you can survive any attack, but you can't go and kill them.
No, certainly not.
Okay, so that's the problem. Now, on some maps, if it wasn't set up like this, maybe that's a better call to go for Broods.
Sure.
But here, I think Protoss just doesn't engage your Broods. Maybe that's why we
in
had
these spots. Like,
yeah,
maybe if they were both top, you could get over to the third.
Whenever I see players go for Broods, I'm kind of thinking, why do you do that? Now, I know a lot of people say, well, Tasteless, aren't you supposed to push with Lurkers and Broods together? And I say, yeah, or you can go around our army, and we've seen this happen a lot. And Broods and Lurkers do not push through an area as fast as Protoss, just basic ground. So that's just my view. I'm happy if people disagree or if, you know, they have another way they're seeing it. But this is just, from all the games I've been casting in Korea this year, I see this as kind of like a fundamental issue. You can see here, look, Protoss can get into one position. Now, if there were a ton of broods out already, they'd have to send the broods down there. You send zealots up here. This is easy for Protoss. You don't have to break them entirely. You just wipe out some expansions, or at least prevent them from taking, in this case, the upper right quadrant or the bottom left quadrant of the minimap.
He's killing a 4th base while taking a 4th base, teching up to Tempest. He's doing everything because he just has a super mobile army. Now, this Zerg army absolutely kills his army, but look at that. He does run away.
Oh my God, it's going to be another one of these games where that building barely survives.
Payback.
Now, you run away from this, right? You just retreat and remake back at home. Now, see, he's brought the lurkers there. You could take your army and loop it around the top again.
Yeah.
And poke in there and hit that.
And
look,
in fact, the
well,
zealots
never
are
mind.
coming in. They're going to finish it off.
Yeah, he kills that off anyway. So we got a Zerg that's on 3 base. This army is scary, but there's a lot of time for Protoss to try to prepare.
Yeah.
And he's making Tempest.
Well, this is a really
actually
good play by Hero. Like,
it's actually now or never. Pet could win the game right now.
Yes.
He could, but
he might be able to bust his way through. The thing is, there's going to be like 4 Tempests.
The thing is also, Pet, if he wins the game, part of this is the fault of the fact that he had that army rush by the location where the broods are predictably going to be. So let's see how this goes.
Because he actually doesn't have detection here, does he? Pet has no detection?
He has,
I believe.
He has 4 observers, but I'm
talking Pet, not Hero. Like,
oh, I'm sorry.
The mothership is sitting right there. Look at this. His broodlords are just flying forward.
Oh, wow. Well, invisible stuff is pretty good when you can't see it.
Yeah, okay.
Turns out.
Well, he does end up killing off the mothership. Doing his best to actually break through the army
he's
as
got
well.
a lot of corruptors here. I'm not sure what the HP is on all of them.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's cannons up now. There's 2 broodlords, so he can nibble at the cannon. I'm assuming he's going to tag that with the Oracle in a second here.
Well, he's coming up once again with these corruptors, just trying to power through. If he can kill all of the Tempest, that's actually fantastic.
He's really bunching those corruptors up.
Yeah.
Now let's remember, Protoss could be knocked down at 3 bases. That's the same number of bases that Zerg has. Zerg's making 2 more. But when you lose all the broodlords, there's kind of a down period before you can get him back again.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they're super duper expensive, so you have to be careful about that.
You also can't.
And he will end up losing them all here, and looks like Hero going to actually attack, and he does tag everything as well.
Wow,
he can
nice
kill off
storms.
all this army. It's going to be really nice for him.
Be careful not to storm that observer over that. And this is the problem. Lurker Broodlord can't run away, guys.
No, it's certainly
And this is, I don't know if this is maybe not the best way to play it, or if Zergs are saying right now, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do otherwise, but whenever I see a game go this direction, most of the time it kind of looks like this. You know, where it's like, well, and the thing is, like I said, Hero's army took a bunch of damage rotating to the top right when he didn't even need to do that.
Yeah.
And now you have Zerg trying to recreate this clunky, slow army from scratch, basically.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to, like, cut some corners, right? Like, you're going to need a few more Hydras in here for anti-air as you get that corruptor count up. You're not going to have as many lurkers as you had before. And, like, a big thing about these Death Ball armies that you see, and definitely the Zerg had just made a Death Ball army, you can't remake them quickly.
Yeah, and of course, they have the slowest Death Ball army, which is almost why I think you would never want to do this strat on this map. If you had this map, and this map was shaped differently so that there weren't bases in the upper right and the bottom left, and it was like a one-on-one map, that would be different, okay? Then you could try to wear them out and actually just push forward to some middle gold base or whatever, but this is like me theory crafted on a map that doesn't exist. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's my concern whenever we see Zergs do this, is I just don't feel like it's healthy late game. Now, what is Zerg supposed to do? And this is where I wasn't sure. I mean, what do you think a Zerg is supposed to do in this situation?
Well,
I'm a little bit in the dark.
now, like, if he could get, a Viper or 2, I feel like that would really help.
I meant before we got, like, instead of going to the Broodlord tech.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, back to that conversation about, like, are Broodlords okay in these positions? Well, the thing is, like, you do need some additional tech. I always do like people grabbing some Vipers. I do like people properly trying to lurker push, especially without any spines yet. I would have liked to see him try something like that.
Sure, yeah.
But it looks like we actually have an attack coming, and we can talk about that a little bit more later. It looks like this 4th base going to be going down very, very quickly, and this is just not enough lurkers.
Yeah, and I believe that's going to be the game. And it looks like Hero's actually done it in a pretty cantankerous series here against Pet. He wins, and congratulations to Hero. He overcame all odds, and that was a nail-biter of a match, man.
Good play there by Hero to end up winning it. Like, yeah, it wasn't the best play that we're going to see in Code A by any margin, but you know what? He ends up winning. with that. In that cantankerous series, better put some salt on that cantanker sore. But yeah, that was Pet. Look, man, like this guy, I thought he had a lot of potential a long time ago.
Well,
because he was playing some very good StarCraft when he first entered the scene, but his StarCraft doesn't seem better right now. You know, it's just like...
unfortunately not. I think he's got better early game than late game. You can see in the late game, he's kind of feeling through the dark, and that's a tough one. So, you know, Hero goes on, and this is a guy who has a lot of experience, and even though he had a bumpy start, he definitely had the ability to kind of pull it all together there in the end, and so that paid off nicely.
All right, well, the Hero formerly known as Liquid does move on into Code S. I don't hold out too much hope for him getting to the round of 16 with play like we've seen tonight. He did have his moments for sure. He definitely had some nice micro. In that last game, some good multitasking, good understanding of where to send his units around the map.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit shaky in some of the other areas that a top tier player will tear him apart during.
He's got time, though, to prepare. Maybe we're going to see a stronger, better Hero. You can never count this guy out.
It might be 2 months before he plays in Code S.
That's true.
That's a long time for him to fix up his skills.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go on to our second best of 5 in tonight's GSL Code A.
Times that I've seen you lose your way, you're not in control, and you won't be told. All I can do to keep you safe is hold you close till you can breathe on your own. Till you can breathe on your own. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell. I won't let you down. Everyone keeps a darker place to lose control. You're not alone. And when you come looking for embrace, I know your soul. I'll be your home till you can breathe on your own. Till you can breathe on your own. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, and I won't let you down. You never think that you can fly. You'll always swim against the tide. Don't you know your pain is mine? And I would die 1,000 times to ease your mind. To ease your mind. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, I've been giving you hell, and I won't let you down.
Yeah, ihr macht es mir echt einfach. Hiermit bedanke ich mich bei euch, dass ich so leicht hab. Ich weiß alles über jeden ohne List, denn da steckt ein Teil bei XTV ich mach euer Leben zu Geld, ja. Ihr seid die brauchen neue Welt, ja. Eure Daten so besser als der allerbeste Rapper, yo, ihr liefert wie bestellt. Ihr seid die brave neue Welt, ja. Google Maps zeigt mir, wo du gerade steckst. Über WhatsApp sehe ich deine schicken neuen Tats. Mit 14 hast du Sodomie gegoogelt und jetzt wird die Werbung vorgesetzt mit nackten Tieren besetzt. Und über Instagram zeigst du mir, was du gerne isst. Komm, zeig mir deine Freunde und ich sag dir, wer du bist. Ah, mit diesen Daten erstelle ich dein Profil. Vertrau mich, ich bin noch nicht am Ziel. Ihr seid die brauchen neue Welt, ja.
슝 합체. 이건 마치 살아 움직이는 느낌인데 머리를 흔들면서 수염을 없애고 있어.
2,500만 명의 선택 플렉스볼 아직도 안 써보셨나요? 질레트.
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다 트로피카나 스파클링
지금 바로 여기요.
하니 퐁듀 너 같은 피자 처음이야 하니 퐁듀 하니 맛있는 피자의 땅으로 지금 전화 주세요.
차 뽑고 정확한 견적 뽑고 금융 혜택도 뽑고 자판기처럼 쉽게 차를 뽑다. 다나와 자동차.
배달이 세상을 구한다.
치킨 먹고 갈래.
한 번 맛보면 매니아가 된다. 치킨 매니아.
자네가 그 치킨 매니아인가?
차이나탄 실력도 탄탄 이젠 어디 가든 난 강한 모두 할 수 있어 뛰어 빵빵 차이나탄 함께 해요 짜요 팀 캡틴 아메리카 팀 아이언맨 마블 퓨처 파이트에서 게임으로 즐겨라 마블 퓨처 파이트 캡틴 아메리카 시빌워 절찬 상영 중. 한 번 선택이 평생 간다. 야, 늦었어. 빨리 와. 빨리.
차 전세 냈어?
아니요, 그렇진 않고요.
힘들면 바꿔. 언제 어디서나 자유롭게 전직하라. 백전 백승.
슝 합체. 이건 마치 살아 움직이는 느낌인데 머리를 흔들면서 수염을 없애고 있어.
2,500만 명의 선택 플렉스볼 아직도 안 써보셨나요? 질레트.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
마셔봐요 트로피카나 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다 트로피카나 스파클링
5월 24일 영웅들의 첫 번째 전투가 시작된다. 오버워치 5월 24일 전세계 동시 발매.
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
Welcome to a GSL.
And we're back here at the GSL Code A. We almost missed it.
Yeah.
I was eating my sandwich backstage.
I was watching you eat your sandwich.
That's right. And then I got done. I'm like, that was lovely. Boom, this thing is back.
Indeed, it's a very fast commercial break after a very fast start and a slow end to Hero vs. Pet. Kind of an interesting series. You know, Hero does clinch out and goes to Code S both times this season, so good for him.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Or this year, rather.
I think it's probably best for the show. He moves on. You know, he has a household name. He is a great player. And
I mean,
he's always had some...
a lot of fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Going on to our next match, it's going to be Seed versus Sari.
All right, kind of interesting here. Seed was a playing coach for a little bit, reverted to just being a player, you know, and Horror took over a full coaching role for MVP, which makes a lot of sense because Horror was just not, he was kind of like Pet, like one of these players that plays for a really long time. Obviously is quite good in practice situations, but literally can't win a game.
Well, Seed is a Code S champion.
Yes.
This guy, it's kind of weird because a lot of times I'd be like, well, you know, guys, no. You know, in 2016, I might say something like, well, you know, Seed's not the best right now. And it's kind of strange to say considering this guy actually was like, what did he won the tournament we had where we hosted the finals on Hyundai Beach, right?
Yeah. Kind of ruined it. He killed MC way too fast.
He smashed MC before the sun even set. Yeah, so he could get a shot of Busan on the beach. But I mean, hey, more power to him. I mean, he crushed it. But you know, it's strange because now times have changed and Seed is generally not considered like in the very, very top tier of Protoss. It's occupied by many other new Protosses, some who've been around for a little bit longer.
You're very right, but he's in pretty good shape as of Legacy of the Void. He's done reasonably well. Definitely he doesn't seem like a contender to win.
I'm going to say something weird. Seed is style, if you think somebody like Hero, I think Seed's style is probably the most similar to Hero's. They both have these really interesting, like, tricky strats. They're pretty brainy. They got some good timings, but it's not totally clean.
Sure.
But they definitely have a very intelligent way of looking at the game. It'll be interesting to see what Seed has in store for Sari here. I'm going to say Seed's going to take this one, though.
I've always felt like Seed was the prototype to SOS. They had to like give a try, and like Seed did all right, won one GSL, and then SOS came along and changed the world.
Seed was like the beta version of AlphaGo or something.
Yeah.
And then SOS came out and now it's Beta Go. Yeah, he was Beta Go, and then they had AlphaGo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. All right, we're going into game number 1 in this best of 5 tonight on the map Frost. Seed versus Sari. In the upper right, in the blue, our Protoss player, he is
MVP 치킨 마루 시드.
in the bottom left, in the red, our Terran player, he is
SK텔레콤 T1 쏘리.
All right. Sorry we haven't really spoke about much. Always looks like he's sleeping while he's playing.
Yeah.
Very sleepy type of Terran player.
We'll see how he actually does this time around here.
Yeah, well, Sorry is like, he's on SKT, so you got to assume that he's pretty good. We've seen him a little bit here and there, but he's definitely not one that they field too often. The thing
Came
is,
from
SK
America
goes
with
so
my
deep.
dad. Thank you guys for coming down.
Excellent.
Got to show your dad esports, man. This is the future. This is it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they came down to the studio. You should bring your friends and family.
It's like a single tear comes down Artoz's face. Like, I wish my dad liked esports.
Yeah. Oh, God. Definitely not the case. He saw me play StarCraft once, and just from then on, he never called it StarCraft. He called it Jiggly Fingers.
Jiggly Fingers, man. That's so... Oh, that's so sad, Artoz.
It's a sad story. But anyways, I mean, let's talk a little bit about Sorry. It's hard to talk too much, though, because he hasn't done a whole lot yet.
Yeah, there's not a lot of distinguishing qualities other than, like, he's on SKT.
Yeah.
That's a good team.
Yeah, he's like one of their Terrans.
We can derive from that fact that he's probably pretty good, or should be, or he wouldn't be there, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how he does. Like, I don't know. Seed, I have a pretty good idea of how well he'll play. He'll play like a solid series, no doubt. Is still in pretty decent shape. So, but Sorry, I mean, this is like a chance for him to prove himself a little bit.
Seed, I'm really wondering if we're going to have the resurgence of Seed, you know? He's had, I always wish I could get like a better backstory for him, because a lot of times it's like, oh, this patch came out and it didn't fit my style, or I had a massive falling out with this team, or, you know, sometimes there's personal things, a death in the family, something like that. But with Seed, I never quite knew what happened. He was like slowly becoming a very scary, dominant player.
Yeah.
He really seemed to be on top of his game. And he still looks good, but there's like a component missing there, and I'm not even sure if we know what it is. But you just see, like, there's something that looks a little bit like he hasn't sanded down the edges of some part of his game understanding.
It is kind of weird because, again, like, he was very exciting in the early days. Like, I remember he and Young Hua were like the Tasis and Artosis Protoss. Is like Young Hua invented a bunch of the defensive macro plays of Protoss,
right.
And Seed was doing the Globetrotter stuff that SOS is now known for. Like, he was the guy that did stuff that would totally screw with your mind, and he won a GSL Code S off of it. It was like fantastic.
Well, that's what was crazy about it too. Normally, you got somebody who does crazy stuff like that, and they're just like, well, you're kind of like part of the story here, but you're not. You're like a fixture, but not the lead. But he actually managed to do it, and I don't know what exactly is keeping him back now, because he does have solid normal play.
Yeah.
Anybody who's like does crazy cheeses, if you don't have solid normal play, it doesn't matter, because if your cheese doesn't work out, if you can't fall back into a normal game and make stuff,
like
you're
for
dead
instance,
anyways.
This is part of the reason why SOS is a two-time world champion, right? His macro and his micro are fantastic. His mind games are best, but his macro and micro keep up with basically everyone except the very top.
That's right.
You know, like, for instance, Innovation might be better at macro than SOS, and Parting might be better at micro. But, you know, he's right up there. Whereas, you know, Seed is just kind of solid in every way. He has good play.
You know, there is a chance Sorry just takes this.
Of course.
Being like a really good mechanical Terran. SKT has, I think, historically probably hammered out the best players as far as just a large number.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, just that
if
team
a player
is like
goes to SKT,
a pro gamer factory.
And like they pick up players that they
especially
see potential
Terrans.
into.
Especially Terrans.
Oh, in the past, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like,
if you really look back at like the number of good Terrans, I mean, we're talking all the way back in early StarCraft. Like, SKT made the macro Terrans what they are. In fact, there was even the SK Terran style.
The thing is, a lot of people probably don't know, or is that Slayer's Boxer, like, he's actually the originator of SKT. Like, he was given the leeway to make his own team a long time ago before it was SKT, and it evolved a couple times. It was like Orion, and it was my brain is failing me right now.
Wasn't it Orion?
Orion.
It was Orion?
It's like a cookie company out here.
Oreos?
No, like Orion. It's just spelled Orion.
I'm gonna make a team that gets sponsored by Oreos, man.
The I'm just trying to wonder. It's like, well, you know what? I guess with your beard, you kind of look like an Oreo.
Yeah, a little bit. Like if you took the top part off.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. Sorry. We got the Observer gunning down this medevac. So far, great defense by Seed.
Solid stuff. We do have from Sorry going into combat shields. You know, he's already got stim. That was quite a quick stim. Has some medevacs out. Looks like he wants to start pushing across this map a little bit. Of course, he will be slowed. There is Blink. Glaives is on the way.
And another drop over here. Immediately spotted and actually takes that out beautifully. And medevac will get out, but, you know, a little bit of scars there. And Seed may attempt